Hey guys, welcome back to Glam Finds, and I'm here with another fragrance review about one that hasn't gotten a ton of attention, but is a killer. From the house of Caron, it's Caron Homme de Caron Le Soir. That name is a little bit of a handful, but this fragrance is worth saying the name. So let's go ahead and talk about the notes. I bought this, by the way, because I bought Aimez Moi Comme Je Suis, and I really like that. That's kind of like a nice hazelnutty vetiver fragrance, and it's really gorgeous, and it was perfect for the fall. This one would have 1000% made my top 10 for winter list because I've been wearing it to death lately, but I didn't have it at the time. Let's talk about the notes. So the notes in this are orris, incense, vanilla, lavender, oak, cypress, ambroxan, tonka bean, and violet leaf. So this fragrance is a beautiful, like, tonka vanillish fragrance. The lavender is there. It's got a touch of an old school feel, but it's an irisy fragrance as well. So for me, that mixes everything good for winter. It just puts it in one fragrance. The old school feel, so if you've watched this channel, I love fragrances that aren't necessarily old school fragrances, but have just like a pop of old school in them, because I don't know what it is, but I feel like it just classes them up a little bit more. This is no exception. In fact, this is probably one of my favorite ones that gives you just a tiny little touch of an old school feel. The lavender in here and the way that it blends with the orris, which comes off, you know, as an irisy note and like a touch lipsticky. I don't feel like it's as lipsticky as what it gets compared to. They compare it to Gentleman EDP. I totally understand the comparison, but I feel like this is slightly less lipsticky. If you don't like the lipsticky note, it is in here, but I feel like the lavender in here gives this more of a masculine vibe than a lot of the iris-based fragrances, because I know a lot of the iris-based fragrances do kind of lean almost a little feminine, or maybe unisex, you know, it depends on your skin, I feel like. But this one has that old school feel. I'm gonna talk about who can wear it in a little bit here, but the way that everything is blended, you're gonna smell the vanilla, you're gonna smell the tonka. It's this really beautiful, creamy, sweet fragrance. It is so well-rounded because you even have violet leaf in there, and it's not an abrasive violet leaf. It's not like patchouli or anything like that. It is really nice. It is a sweet fragrance. I've been gravitating towards sweet fragrances, but the way that this one is done, in my opinion, I'm gonna go ahead and say, is a masterpiece. This is one of my favorite fragrances that I've smelled this year. Actually, this is probably one of my favorite fragrances that I've ever smelled. Now, I don't know a few years ago if I would have liked it as much, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about that in the compliments part, because that kind of surprised me too. So scent profile, again, it's kind of like this beautiful creamy fragrance with the iris and the tonka, vanilla, lavender, everything's just there. The woodiness kind of is more in the backdrop, but it is incredibly well balanced and masterfully done. I mean, I feel like that probably tells you how I feel about this fragrance. In terms of performance, it is not a screamer off your skin, but it will last more than a work day. I would say probably closer to the 10-hour mark on me, and sometimes more than that. It's just a really like good performing fragrance. The sillage is more moderate. It's not supposed to scream off your skin, but within an arm's length, if not a little bit closer, it does well, and the sillage kind of goes, so you're gonna leave a pretty good scent trail throughout the day, especially in the first couple of hours that you're wearing this fragrance. In terms of who can wear this, because of the iris or the orris and the sweetness that you're gonna get from the vanilla and tonka, I feel like it is a unisex fragrance. Typically things with orris and iris do lean in that direction. I feel like it may be slightly more masculine than some other ones. I think Gentleman EDP is probably one of the more masculine ones, but like Valentino Uomo Intense, I would say this could be a little bit more masculine than that if Valentino Uomo Intense just ran too feminine on your skin if you are a gentleman or someone who pretends to be a gentleman. I think this one will do just fine for you, because just there's something in there, and I think it's really the lavender that's gonna give it a touch of an old school vibe, but not old school. It's just something that classes it up just a little bit. At least to my nose it does. When could you wear this? For me, this is an evening fragrance, something that you dress up. I have worn it casually because I just really love this fragrance and I really can't stop wearing it. And I've traveled with it. Like, it's just something I really reach for a lot these days. But I think dressed up, this would do amazing on a date night. And I'm talking first date, second date, third date. It does really well. Season-wise, it's definitely fall, winter, leaning more towards winter. But I think you can wear it in spring as well. And if you were somewhere like kind of like where I live, where you get those summer nights that are kind of cool, you could wear it there. However, summer days, I would avoid it. Again, this is more of an evening fragrance anyways. It literally has Le Soir in the name. So, I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. It is just a really sexy fragrance. At least to me, I think it's a really gorgeous fragrance. It's classy. It really does everything that you want in a fragrance that you're gonna dress up a little bit. Compliment wise, this actually got me compliments. People seem to really love how this smells, but I don't blame them because it smells amazing. So this is one that if I don't know what to wear and I'm going out and, you know, maybe I'm dressing up a little and maybe not like crazy dressed up, but like a nice dinner, something like that, I'm gonna reach for it because I know everyone's gonna love it. And on top of that, I love smelling it. I really can't get enough of this fragrance. It may not be for everyone, but again, non-frag heads compliment this fragrance, so that's gotta be saying something, and I just love wearing it. It's just really beautiful. I don't always gravitate towards vanilla fragrances, but the way that this is done and how gorgeous it is, again, I can't help myself. Price point, it hasn't dropped in price quite yet, but it's not that expensive. I think it has had one price drop. It is maybe in the $70 range. The only place that I've been able to find it so far is fragrancebuy.ca. Let's see how much it is right now. Okay, so it is actually sold out there, but when I got it, it was about like $75, something in that range. I think that's around what I paid for the Hermès Comme Je Suis, around that, and it hasn't dropped in price. So I think these are maybe the more expensive ones. Maybe in a few years they'll drop, because Caron, you can get some of them for like around the $30 to $40 range. These are maybe a little more. Again, I don't know if it's gonna drop, but I liked the last one so much that I went ahead and bought this one pretty much the minute I saw it at fragrancebuy.ca, because I was pretty stoked about it. Not a lot of people are talking about it. I think Sebastian is the only one from YouTube that has said anything about it. He had a good review of it. He seems to gravitate towards Caron as well, and I really like lavender scents, so this was a no-brainer for me. If you've tried this or anything from the house, comment down below. Again, I don't think a lot of people are gonna be talking about this. That house doesn't get a whole lot of talk, but from what I've tried, I'm pretty obsessed, and I feel like if they have new releases in the darker category, I'm gonna be picking them up. I might try some of their fresher stuff just because, again, so easy to wear. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like this video. If you liked it, be subscribed to my channel, hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop a new video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!